Welcome, and thank you for joining this session of Innovation Institute 2021. With nearly 50 sessions available through the summer, we know you'll be discovering new skills, strategies, and resources to transform the teaching and learning in your classroom, and we would love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, please be sure to visit the Town Hall in Attendify to connect with the attendees through the activity stream or community features. If you would like a certificate of attendance for attending this session, you will find the request form linked at the end of the session description in Attendify. Thank you, and enjoy this session from one of our amazing Innovation Institute presenters.
Hi, I'm Renee Griep, and I'm the GT facilitator at Don Tyson School of Innovation. And I'm excited to share with you some resources that I have for integrating technology in art or artistic type of activities that can be used really in almost any classroom. So it doesn't have to be in an art room. It doesn't have to be with a STEM class or something like that. It could be incorporated into any discipline, especially if you're going to be doing any inquiry-based learning or project-based learning. This might be great, or these resources actually might be really good for making those presentations and giving it a little wow factor and engagement for a lot of students as far as their creativity. And if they are artistic, this may really appeal to them. So I hope you enjoy this short presentation and all the resources that are available to you in this slide deck. If you'll notice, there is a QR code on this first slide. If you will scan that, or at the end, there's also a link you can use, and you can use this slide deck however you would like. There's lots of links on it that are active and current. So, and they have all the lessons on them and videos to explain how to do those different activities. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Creativity is just so vital to our invention of new things, our innovation, design, in business, wherever you're going to be, you need to use your creativity. So being able to use that creativity through technology and art is really powerful. Tinkering also is a very important skill. It helps students and adults to innovate, learn new skills without judgment and criticism. And technology can be that vehicle that brings it all together and presents it to an authentic audience. So hopefully these will be some resources that you can use to do that in your classroom. It builds self-esteem, fortifies the self-awareness, develops your communication skills, makes socialization easier, and fosters integrity. So, hey, I did this, I'm learning this, I'm presenting it, all of that. So that goes along with the maker mindset. And the father of the maker mindset was is Dale Daugherty, and this is a quote of his showing how the growth mindset and the maker mindset really combine well together. And when you're using that maker growth mindset, incorporating technology into your classroom and into presentations and into art, it just really fuels that creativity and that innovation within students. So my first link here is for the Amazium. That it really is an amazing resource for us here in Northwest Arkansas. And they actually have on their website resources from other Amazium type museums. So there's a plethora of information for educators if you know where to look. So hopefully I've helped you with that. You don't have to go just scrolling through the Amazium website. I've put links from all of their resources in this presentation. So this first one is to the home page. And then the second one is to Amazium U, which is for educators mainly. It could also be for people who homeschool, that sort of thing. So they are actual lessons, and there's a lot of them on there, much more than what I've posted on this slide deck. But I've put on here where it shows technology is integrated. A lot of it is just artistic stuff. It also has some STEM activities as well. So if you are interested in more things than just integrating technology and art, I would recommend you clicking on the link for the Amazium U. I'm going to show you this little quick clip. It is about how you can have a virtual Amazium experience with your classroom. It is geared more for elementary, but you might find that if you're a middle school also teacher, that it might be helpful for you too.
Bring the Amazium on Field Trip experience to your in-person or virtual classroom through a Connect Virtual on Field Trip. A Connect on Field Trip is where you and your students can connect with the Amazium team through a video call using a virtual platform.
My kids adored it. They loved it. They want to do field trips, but they know because of our situation that they can't. And so I think it was just so cool for them to have people that weren't me teaching them about stuff that they thought, I just have to learn this, but it's something like, oh my gosh, like I can use this. It gave them an opportunity to touch it and interact with it and have someone else tell them about it. I really loved how hands-on it was, even though it was virtual. It was still, like, y'all were kind of still in the room,
Before the Connect call, the On Field Trip coordinator and educational partnership specialist will have a pre-call with you to sort out the details of the Connect on Field Trip.
The website was super friendly. I loved being able to see the outcomes, see the content, and then just be able to reach out to you guys very easily. And I got a super quick response. You guys were very on point, and then it was easy to set up dates. You guys were extremely flexible. And then my parents were extremely flexible. And so reaching out to the parents and asking them, like, would you be interested in doing this on-field trip, but you'd have to have the supplies. Do you guys think that you could come up with them? And they loved it, because it was just so simple.
On the day of the call, the Amazium will facilitate the activity from your Discover resource with you and your students.
With this year being so different, this was something we knew we could give them. We thought we could use this as just a way that we could give an opportunity to kids, no matter where they were, whether they were in our buildings or not, and that they could all participate and do something together.
They were very, very excited to meet just someone else in the Google Meet. And so it was very interesting for them finding items around the house, thinking with their brain, with their hands, and taking that further. Using the journal was just so amazing. And they said that they absolutely loved that they had to build that bridge, but then they had to test it. So they loved being challenged.
If you would like to take your exploration to the next level, you can reserve an Explore Virtual on Field Trip.
And that is on the website. So you can find that Explore. Oh. Sorry about that. Okay, so here are some examples of lessons that you can find on the Amazium U. So I have right here the stop motion. So this is what it'll look like. You have a video. She'll go through that with you very briefly, what the lesson is like. And then you will have your materials, your concepts, and then there's an instructional how to do that using your phone, websites, then additional ones like a flip book, a green screen, which I've got a link to that one as well. And then you have the activity guide here. Now on my slide, you do have some of those right there. So that you have those links right there if you want to go straight to it. Stop motion is, if you don't know, which a lot of you probably already do know, but it is where they take it like frame by frame. And students can use Legos, they can use drawn things that they've created, they can do puppets. There's just so many different things that they can do. They could take pictures and, you know, cut them out and create 3D like scenes like you do for a science classroom where you might do an ecosystem, and they could have like the animals going through and doing a simulation of that sort of thing with the stop motion. It's just really a cool activity, and that is good for not only young children, but it can be definitely used in middle school on up. And the next one is light painting, which is really interesting. You're using lights and photography to create pictures and drawings. And this one as well has additional resources, but I have them right here on your slide deck, right handy for you. So that video gives you a little bit of a clip of how the activity would go in a shortened version, just like the stop motion. And then also, if you've never used a green screen, but even if you have, this one's still a good activity, especially if you're going to teach students how to use a green screen. Green screens are really simple. You don't have to buy one off Amazon. You don't have to have a huge fabric piece. You can just use green paper even. You could just use a green wall if you have a green wall. So there's lots of different ways you can do a green screen. And here are several different So for the next one, if it comes up. Now this is using electricity, light, and motors. So this could be used in a science classroom, but it doesn't have to be. You have paper circuits. Now this link is to an actual lesson that you can print out. And it shows, this is copper tape, and it shows the materials here where you have a battery. I did this lesson just the other day, and it was very successful and very fun. And kids made like little ornaments that we taped to the circuit, and it had a little LED, and it lit up a part of their ornament, and we just had the whole class making this ornament. It would be really cool at Christmas time if you made like a Christmas ornament tree, or just a scene. That would be really cool. It'd be a fun project for them to learn a little bit about electricity, but also incorporate some artisticness and how artists use light and electricity. So that one's really cool. Scribble machines is they used recyclable items, and they put a little motor on it, and they put markers as its legs, and it is kind of an uneven spin of the motor. that causes it to shake. And as it shakes, it scribbles around. It's a really cool way to learn about motors and how to build something that could create writing and do an action. So that's really cool. The personal pinhole theater is an actual website. Let's see. And this is an interesting activity that could be used in social studies as well as in science, or even in literacy if you were doing, but it also talks about how the first camera kind of came into being. And it's really not technology, but it's how technology came about. So I just put that in there. I thought that was very cool. And you can use just simple things like a box and all of those materials right there to create your pinhole theater. Turtle art is actual coding, and so you can see here, I'm going to show this very short clip to show you how it works. So you can see that students can play around with the different block coding. So if you've taught any coding, if you haven't taught any coding, the kids have still a lot of fun learning how to draw with the little turtle. And, you know, middle schoolers even like this. It isn't something that is beyond them. So it's not just for young kids. And these are some different things that have to do with turtle coding. This is something fun. It is a video about how to create, oh, I did not mean to turn that on, how to create a digital sticker. So if you want to make digital stickers to give to your students digitally, this is a really quick and easy way to create a digital sticker, and it can be personalized, and you can use it for games, you can use it for activities, for grouping. There's just a lot of different ways that you can use it. It's not just for fun. It can be actually useful for organization, and it could be fun for you to share with your students if they wanted to jazz up a slide deck and they wanted to do digital stickers or a document or anything like that. So this may be something fun that you want to share with your students. Now these are more digital art. If students are into Snapchat and have that, you can actually create a filter and apply it to Snapchat and for your community, your neighborhood, your area. And Snapchat can, through this process and through this website, approve their filter, and people in their community would use it. And actually, it's not tied to the students, so they're not violating any personal information or anything like that. But it's kind of cool that students would like, hey, you know, people in my community use this filter for Snapchat. There is a link there to how to create animated GIFs or GIFs, however you want to say that. And then there is temporary tattoos that they can create, and there is paper there that's a link to getting temporary tattoo paper, which might be a cool activity for students to do and share. This is a link to a university. 10 digital art projects that will spark student creativity. So you have quite a few here. This is the geo filter. Personal logo designs activity. There it has a lesson plan. The temporary tattoos is on that. Mosaic portraits. Now that is a portrait with other pictures included in it, and it says using Photoshop. I'm going to show you also another one that's free. So if you don't have Photoshop, there is another type of app that you can use. It's very similar to Photoshop, but this is really cool. The mosaic portraits there. Space galaxies, how to create something like that. Makey Makey is a really cool digital or circuitry, kind of like a toy, but it's also a little kit, but they're expensive. And a class kit is like almost $1,000. So I didn't include that in here, and they are difficult to get through Donors Choose as well. I tried that, and they don't sell them on Amazon anymore. So anyway, that didn't work, but they are very cool. Animated GIFs are here. That's very cool. And there is the website there. Light paintings, Photoshop your teacher. Gradient landscapes, how to do that. So that's a very informative website. So I have the link here, as well as some of these other ones here, if you just wanted to go to these directly instead of scrolling down on this link here. Now this one is the Federal Trade Commission. Who would know? But they have a really neat lesson plan for creating an advertisement, which would be great in lots of different disciplines that you could use this activity in. The second one is used in conjunction with part one. There's a quiz and a pre-assessment activities that make this project very virtual friendly, like I put there. So a lot, I'm not going to put that out here, but you can click on these links and get all that information on how to do that. This would be a very interesting project. This one is an augmented reality composer. So you can put an object in a real area, a real space that you're photographing with either an iPad or an iPhone, and then your created picture will be animated in that space. So as you can see here, if you look closely, they're on an overlook, and it's got a telescope there, and they've created a rocket, and that rocket's going to blast off from that area. Even though it's a real space, it's an animated object that's going to move in the space. So this video shows you how it works, and then you can get it on the App Store in Apple.
Reality Composer makes it easy for you to create and interact with augmented reality on your iPhone and iPad, blending virtual content with the world around you. In this video, we'll show you how to start a project. Choose.
Okay, so it goes pretty detailed. So hopefully that was informative and helpful to you, and you've got some really good resources to use, and that you will think about this next year incorporating some art activities that are infused with technology. If you have any questions or anything, just email me here on this last slide, and I hope that it was very helpful for you, and thanks a lot for listening.
Thank you for joining this session. To request a certificate of attendance, you can access the link at the bottom of the session description, scan the QR code here, or go to bit.ly/I2 certificate. Bit.ly shorteners are case sensitive, so please be sure to use all uppercase letters. Hear what insight other I2 attendees and presenters might have on this session and other breakout sessions by connecting with the Innovation Institute community on Facebook or Twitter at I2 Esdale or in Attendify's interactive features. And don't forget to mark your calendar for June 8th and 9th to join us for I2 2022. Thank you.